Alhamdulillah, wahda wa salatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da. Inshallah, in our series of Creed of the Rightly Guided, we will be doing our next aqidah. Allah the Exalted is eternal without a beginning. Allah the Exalted is eternal without a beginning. In other words, He always existed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always existed. There was no such thing as a time period where there was no Allah. Allah always existed and He has no beginning. There was no time period where we say that this time Allah came into existence, Allah came into being. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has always been there and will always be. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم. Surah Hadith verse 3. He is the first and He is the last, the manifest and the hidden, and He is of all things all-knowing. Now when we speak about beginning, beginning can be of two types. Number one is haqiqi, which is before everything. In other words, for example, let's take an example. Let's say you have a house and there's no one inside the house, and then let's say 10 people enter the house. So one person asks, who came first? Who came first means who entered first? There was excuse me, there was no one in the house, right? It was empty. Now we have 10 people in the house. Question is, who was the first one who entered the house? That's a haqiqi beginning. In other words, no one before that person came. He is the first, right? Second is idafi, which is before something specific. For example, amongst those 10 people, there's a brother and a sister, right? There's a brother and a sister. So the man asked, who came first? But he meant to say what? Between you two. Not amongst all of the people, but rather who? Just speaking about the brother and sister, that from you two, who came first? So when we are speaking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's beginning, we're talking about haqiqi, not idafi. We're not saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came before the universe, but before that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came before the universe existed, or before the Big Bang, and but before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala there was a matter. No. We are saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala haqiqatan, in reality, He is before every single thing in the universe. There was no such thing as anyone besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, it was always and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and after that everything else came into existence. So question usually comes, how can something always exist without a beginning? Right? Every single thing in this world we say is created and needs a creator, because if there's no cause, how can something come into existence? So the answer is that if there was no first cause, then there'll be nothing in the world, right? For example, if let's say I go to the store and I want to buy milk, and I go to the cashier and I tell the cashier I need to buy this milk. The cashier says I need to ask the manager. The manager says I need to ask the director, for example. The director says I need to ask the CEO. The CEO says I need to ask the owner. The owner says I need to go ask the mayor. The mayor says I need to ask the governor. The governor says I need to talk to the president. President says I need to present it to the Senate. By the time, first of all, I won't even get my permission, but let's just say if I got it, probably my milk is already expired. So we need to have a starting point. There need to be someone saying, yes, this is what it is, and this is going to start, or this is the beginning. The approval, right, has to be there. If I say that God has to be also created, okay, fine, no problem. But who created the thing that created God? Okay, that was created by something else. Okay, who created that? Okay, that was created by something else. Who created that? We'll keep going and going and going for infinity, and nothing will happen. So no matter what happens, there needs to be a starting point. There needs to be a place where it says this is where it started, and that starting point is God. Then question comes, why can't the universe be the first cause and always existing? The universe always existed, right? And there was energy always there in the universe, and because of the constant reaction and etc., it led towards the creation of the rest of the universe. Why can't we say that? So the answer to that is, something that does not have a mind of its own cannot create things with specific qualities or give them intelligence. Now, of course, this is a lengthy topic, but because we are trying our best to keep these very short and precise and brief, that's why we are not going the lengthy details. But generally, let's take an example. For example, if I put my laptop in my room and leave it and come back to the room, I will not find two laptops. Why? Because the laptop does not have a mind of its own to create another laptop, even though technology has gone so far. And the laptops, through laptops, you can do so many things that probably by just using my mind I can achieve. A laptop can. So looking at it, apparently looking at it, laptop is more smart than me, but it still cannot create something else. It does not have a mind on its own. So to say that energy or a matter led towards such a massive and such great creation with such precise and specific qualities, it is hard to accept. Usually there's a claim that, but we use programming to solve difficult problems. Like I gave an example of the laptop. Laptop doesn't have a mind on its own, but look at the different achievements that we have done, and look at the way technology is helping us to reach many goals. How can you say something does not have a mind of its own, cannot create anything? We are creating solutions for many problems by using technology. So our answer to that is that everything that's technology is totally dependent on what? On our programming, right? Whatever we have programmed, it will give solution based on that. For example, to take an easy example, let's say you go Google Translate and you want something to translate it from English to another language. Now Google Translate will translate it if it has that program, it is programmed to translate. If that language is not in the dictionary of the Google programming, it will not translate it for you. Similarly, yes, we agree and we accept technology, and they have given us such achievements that we might not be able to do it by ourselves, but that does not mean that they can be used as an example to show that something non-intelligent can create things, because they're not really creating, they're only solving things for us based on the programming uh, that we have done, right? That's something human have done. So yes, we have achieved a lot, and we have gained many solutions using technology, but they are still dependent on human. Summary, number one is Allah the Exalted is eternal with no beginning. Number two, without a first cause, nothing will exist, and that first cause is Allah the Exalted. Number three, non-intelligent being cannot create anything with precise qualities. And number four, technology is dependent on humans for its functioning. Subhanakallah bihamdik. نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.